FatDag is a Weight Watchers leader in Indianapolis, Indiana. However, the views and opinions expressed during this podcast are his own. They do not represent the views of Weight Watchers. And now, here's your host and wingman, FatDag.
I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 154. Happy New Year. Go after it. What are you going to do different this year that you didn't do in 2017? What is going to make 2018 special? You're going to make 2018 special. And I tell you, I woke up this morning on fire, got a podcast interview in from one of my good friends, the transformation coach. He always inspires me, and him and I collaborated this morning for a show. And I got to tell you, waking up on January 1st, springing out of bed, jumping to the microphone, first thing told me that 2018 is going to be an amazing year because I woke up on fire, ready to do something different this year to make 2018 different. Can you commit to track for 365 days? Can you do something different this year to make sure that this year is different? When this interview gets released, there's a piece I really want you to listen to, and it's a term that I wish I would have made it up because I think it's so incredibly powerful. Instead, I heard it from somebody, and I just put my voice inflection in it. And the quote is, if you really want to change your life, you actually really have to change your life. And so what I want you to do on this New Year's episode, 2018, you have the opportunity to do whatever you want to do. You have the ability to do anything your brain is ready to do. More often than not, you know you can do it, but can you commit to it? Can you stay focused? Can you make the right decision often enough to reach your goal? That's what we're after for 2018. We're looking for 2018 to be different than 2017, different than 16, 15, 14. 2018 is our year. It's the year we're taking back our health. It's the year we're taking back all of our hopes and dreams. It's the year we're doing whatever we want to do, and we're going to do it together. Kim writes in and says, hello, FatDag. It's taken me a lot of courage to write to you. See, I'm very shy and I have very low self-esteem. I joined Weight Watchers 4 years ago and I hit lifetime. Well, that didn't last too long because I told myself I didn't need to go to meetings anymore and I could just do this on my own. Yeah, right. I gained all of my weight back. I rejoined June 2017 online only at the starting weight of 185 pounds. My goal was to lose around 40. I'm happy to announce that I'm 6 pounds away from that goal. But I'm scared to get back to lifetime status. I'm afraid of myself and what I will tell myself when I reach it. You see, I really want to stay at lifetime for the rest of my life. I don't want it to be like the last time. When I sabotage my own self with negative thoughts, I'm so thankful that I found out about you and your podcast early on in my journey from somebody on Connect. I listen to your podcast when I walk, and if I can listen to you live on Facebook. I know this time around I do have more support with Connect, the Wise Wingman Facebook group, and another Weight Watcher group that I follow on Facebook. I plan on attending meetings again now that I am so close to goal. I want to thank you and the other wingmen out there for all the support, and the big thanks to you for serving our country. I also want to wish you and the other wingmen great focus for 2018. Thanks, Kim. Kim, congratulations on being just 6 pounds away from being back at goal. You're incredibly strong. You're incredibly focused. Your opening story, your opening sentence says it took a lot of courage to write, that you're shy and have low self-esteem. I don't see that at all in your email. What I see in your email is someone who persevered, someone who's strong, someone who knows what they want and has the ability to push through and get it. You've done it twice now. So you absolutely can do anything you set your mind to. Now, you do have to understand that if you don't manage this for the rest of our lives, if we don't continue to plug into an accountability team, if we don't continue to get support, it's very easy to go back into our old ways. It doesn't make us weak. It doesn't make us any less valuable. It actually makes us normal. Right? That's right. And so if you want to be a little stronger, a little more disciplined, then you have to continue to say, yeah, I really want to stay at Lifetime for the rest of my life. And you have to ask yourself daily if what I'm doing today aligns with that vision or hinders that vision. You don't want it to be like the last time where you sabotage yourself with negative thoughts, then don't do that. You've proven now twice you can do this. That's an incredible accomplishment. 2 times you went all the way through this process to stay mentally focused and disciplined. Sticking with it at this point can be done. You absolutely have the right support network. You have the right people. You have enough of the right things. And I cannot emphasize enough the meeting room. Now, I know, there are hundreds of people and thousands of people who have had great success without going to the meeting room. I get that. I'm not one of them. I'm one of those people that needs to I need to have a date on my calendar that doesn't move. And that date on my calendar is the meeting room. And I know I have 6 more days before I go back again. And I always I know how many days until I get back to that group and I see people that are counting on me and that I'm counting on them. Together, we're working together. Continue to stay plugged into that group. Continue to stay plugged in everywhere. I can tell you one of the other great things about this journey is that just when you reach Lifetime, the second time, a great way to stay accountable is to look for somebody else who needs some help. Reach back, show them how it's done, show them what you can do to maintain it. Prove to them that what they're trying to do is possible and sustainable. As you're proving that to them, you're working on you and you're absolutely getting it done. So congratulations again. I am incredibly honored and thank you for taking the courage to write in and sharing your story, because everybody is in that boat and we all need to stay together and keep connected in the group. Out of San Diego, MJ writes in and says, well, the last time I wrote you was in September of 2017, and I had committed to attending 17 meetings by the end of 2017. I set an attendance goal because the pressure of my performance goals were getting the best of me. I had been back at Weight Watchers for 8 months, just trying to get by. I was manipulating the scale, and I was trying to see how much I could get away with not actually following the program. And where did that get me? Well, a whole lot of yo-yoing and actually disappointment. Well, guess what? I did it. I attended all 17 meetings from September until now, and it has changed everything. Attending meetings every week meant I had to sit with whatever was going on mentally for me. For the first 8 of those weeks, I really had to wrestle with my why and those self-sabotaging beliefs of losing weight is impossible for me, and I'll never, ever be able to accomplish my goal. Because I had committed to attending every week, I knew I couldn't just avoid those feelings when they came up, and that actually forced me to put them out in the open. It forced me to address them and then replace them with feelings and beliefs that I actually wanted to have. I realized that I'd been holding on tight to what those boys in middle school had told me. They told me I was fat and I was ugly, and I internalized that. I even turned it into a self-fulfilling prophecy, leading me to become obese in high school. Thanks to my very supportive mother who attended every meeting with me in high school, I lost 40 pounds and I hit a socially acceptable weight. And I've maintained that weight until now, 20 years later. But I had never reached a healthy BMI and I'd never reached goal. Once I started believing it was worth it, that I could actually do it and that I would do it, that's when I was able to really look at my data to figure out how to best work the plan for me. In the last 2 months of the year, I lost more weight than I had lost in the entire other 10 months that I'd been back on the program. And now with Freestyle, it has definitely been an adjustment, but I feel more nourished, more satisfied, and I feel stronger than I ever have. And I trust in myself, and I trust in the program. Well, this morning that old fear crept back inside of me. What if now that I've accomplished this attendance goal, that I get complacent again? And then I was like, MJ, you know how to be successful. Just do it again. So here I am, committing publicly to attend 52 meetings this year. I am currently 6 pounds away from a healthy BMI. I have never been at a healthy BMI, and I'm not quite sure where my goal will land me. But I do know that 2018 is the year that I reach it, and I will because I will be focused on my attendance. The performance, of course, will follow. Thank you for being my wingman and for the entire Connect community. Let's keep celebrating along the way because we truly are better together. MJ, congratulations. Happy New Year. Happy New You. What an amazing goal you just set. You know, attending 17 meetings, a lot of times we think about that as just, you don't realize the sacrifice, the commitment that it takes to attend 17 meetings in a row. It's every week for 17 weeks. And now you've doubled down and you said you're going to do that for every week for 52 weeks. What that tells me is you're focused. It tells me that more than anything, you want this. Your meeting room needs you. You're going to be there. You've dedicated yourself to getting to goal. If you set your goal and you know that every week you have to attend a meeting and you're going to attend the meeting, which is probably the more important term, you don't have to do anything, but you've made the deliberate decision to do it. You're dedicated to your goal. You're focused on your goal. That's keeping you focused. Now I understand, realizing that you were holding on tight to what those boys in middle school had said. I tell you that it's shameful that people treat each other like this sometimes. And the things that people say, there's absolutely no excuse for it. We have to understand that when people invite themselves into our brains, it's a reflection of them and it's not a reflection of us. We are strong enough to push back. And I saw a great quote on Twitter. If you're not following her, Mel Robbins on Twitter is an amazing, inspirational gal. And one of the things she says is when you have a hater and when you have someone who's acting negatively to you, one of the best things you can do is smile and greet them in a sense where they don't know how to handle you, and they will eventually leave your space because they will no longer how to interact. They won't know how to interact with you when you don't engage back with them. So shame on those boys in middle school. Hopefully they've learned their lesson and they're continuing to do better now. But that's irrelevant because you have found a way. You've found a way to trust in yourself and trust in the program. And the new Freestyle program is doing that for you. When you absolutely know, when without a doubt you know something is possible, you can do it. And that is what you've done. The mindset shift that you've done, as I read through your email, I saw it where you all of a sudden said, I can do this. I know how to do it. Just do it again. If you've tracked one single meal, that's it. If you've tracked a single meal ever on this program, whether it be the new program, the old program, the previous program, if you have tracked one meal, you can be a success. Because that's all the program asks of you is to track a meal. And then track 2 in a row. And track 3 in a row. Well, here, if you got some 0-point food, maybe you don't have to track that part of it. But that's regardless. But if you know you can do it, you build on that success and you just continue to do that every step of the way. That is what has you 6 pounds away from a healthy BMI. Think about that. A healthy BMI, and in all caps, as you wrote in, I have never, ever been at a healthy BMI until now. You're going to get there. And when you get there, we're absolutely going to celebrate. And 2018 is absolutely your year. I agree. The Connect community is amazing, and we continue to celebrate together because it's just too much fun not to. Out of Falls Church, Virginia, Suzie writes in and says, Dear FatDag, first of all, thank you so much for your service to our country. I have several Marines in my family, including my father, so I know a little of the sacrifice our country's military requires, and I respect you and your family for that. I joined Weight Watchers April 2016 because I wanted to lose weight, but for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how. My starting weight was 153 pounds, and my goal was about 125. I'm 5'3", and still not entirely sure what the number will be when I'm at goal. But I know how I'll feel, and I'll know the number will be somewhere in my healthy BMI range. I've been as high as 153, as low as 140 and a half in my weight loss journey, and I can't seem to be disciplined enough to break the 140s, let alone hit the goal. I can't tell you how frustrating and discouraging it is to have never gotten very close to goal and still feel so far from it. I don't even want to lose more than 25 pounds, and so many other Weight Watchers have lost over 100 pounds. Why is this so hard? I know I shouldn't compare myself and my journey to others, and I try not to. But when you're so mad at yourself and ashamed of how little control you feel like you have, it can be diffusing to focus on other people for a while, and Connect is great that way. So many times on this journey, I thought I've found the thing that will get me to goal, signing up for a marathon, journaling, meal prepping, etc. I've been so pessimistic now. I check myself every time I think I found the thing I've been missing that will miraculously help me get past this wall of 140 pounds to goal. I recently started listening to your podcast, and like many, I find them super helpful. I can hear your voice in my head saying, when you're out of points, stop eating points, and that is effective. I also realized that my why, it wasn't clear. So I dug deep, and I realized that I want to lose weight to feel comfortable in my skin, to not hate how curvy my hips are, and to feel confident in a bathing suit and colorful pants. For a long time, this why seemed vain and selfish, and therefore not good enough. So I tried to substitute other whys, my health, the discipline, etc., but they weren't the root cause, and therefore not sufficient. You helped me to own my why, and this has led to getting back my focus, which I haven't had since May of 2017. So that has been huge. Another thing is I'm a Christian, and I finally realized that it's important to pray about this journey. I believe God helps us all in the good things we do in this life, and that if I'm to hit goal, I need to ask for His help. Perhaps this is the thing that I've been missing. Anyway, thank you for your podcast. They are so helpful. I would love to hear one on losing the last pounds, or one that addresses those who don't have a lot to lose, but are still struggling. I sometimes feel so alone on this journey since I feel like a loser with how little I've lost. Good luck in the new year. I plan to write and thank you in 2018 when I hit goal. Suzie. Suzie, a couple things, and I'll get right off in the end of your email. The way you lose the last 5 pounds on this journey is the same way you lose the first 5. I've said that more than once. And so the program doesn't change whether you're on day 1 or you're on day 30. If you follow it, it works. If you work it, you will get to whatever weight you want to go. I'm a very firm believer that when it comes to weight loss, 25 pounds equals 100 pounds. It's the only place on the planet where someone will tell you that 25 equals 100, and it makes sense. The number on the scale is irrelevant. It's irrelevant if we talk about how much you weigh. It's irrelevant when we talk about how much you lost. It's irrelevant when we talk about how much you want to lose. 25 equals 100. If you don't like what you look like at 25, it's no different than the person who doesn't like what they look like at 100 pounds overweight. It's the same internally. So we have to go at it the same way. You can't for a second think that I only have 25 to lose, so therefore I'm not gonna attack it the same way. We have to dig into this thing mentally. I had the great luxury on New Year's Eve to talk to some folks who were just now embarking on their journey, and they were night and day different as far as the amount they wanted to lose. And I could tell from talking to both of them that the mental side of it was exactly the same. It was an incredible conversation because here I saw, a gentleman who's a bodybuilder, 0% body fat at some point in his life, and now he just wants to lose, maybe 20 pounds. To a bodybuilder from 0% body fat, that 20 pounds it could be 1,000 pounds. It's the same thing. So for a second, don't think that only 25 pounds is easy. Don't think it's not anything to work on. If you don't like it, you're the judge. You get to make the change. You dig in, you find the discipline, you get it done, you work the program because we know the program works. You got to start off on your why. You have to understand why you're doing this. You actually have to be selfish. I'm giving you permission to be selfish right now. If you take care of you, if you put yourself first, it opens up an entire world for you to put everybody else second. And they're second, but they're really so close to you, and you have so much more capacity and ability to take care of them because you're not bogged down with your own issues. You feel good about your life. You feel good about yourself. You're wearing colored pants and it feels great. And you can do that. You have to be vain. You have to be selfish, in such a way where you're proud of yourself. Now, you can certainly go overboard in that mindset. You can certainly start acting a little foolish when you get to that vanity and when you get to that. But initially at the beginning, as you find yourself and you become comfortable in yourself, vanity is a good thing. You want to feel good about yourself. You want to be proud of what you've done. You want to feel pride when you look in the mirror and say, dang, I did this. I look amazing. And so when you come up against this comparison of that you're trying to do something and you're mad at yourself and you're ashamed of yourself of how little control that you have over the journey, I got to remind you of something I talk about often on this podcast. And you're fighting a battle against two other forces. So it's really a 2-on-1 battle. And so the fact that you're upset that you're not winning, you've got to understand you're fighting some very smart people in this world. You're fighting some of the best marketers this planet has ever known. They know exactly where to put the product. They know exactly what color to make the packaging. They know exactly what size to make the packaging. They know exactly what shelf to put it on. They put it so that it's eye level. They put things at eye level for children so the children can see it. And then for adults, it's at a different level. The marketers of this world, their job is to push and sell product. Whether it's food or whether it's something else, they do an amazing job making things sell. That's their job. So you're fighting against them in the first place. And then on top of that, after you get past the marketing department, you're dealing with an industry who knows how to make food more addictive. They know how to make it more visually appealing. They know how to make you crave it more than you've ever craved anything by chemically altering some of the food that's out there. Some of this processed food is out there. It's genetically made on purpose to get you to buy more. Combine that with a marketer, and you're absolutely a rock star for winning by even attempting it. Way to go. You can get there. You got to figure out when you're working this journey what it is that you want to do. You want to feel comfortable in your skin. You want to not hate how your hips look when they're curvy. You want to feel comfortable in a bathing suit. If I could give you all that and ask you to trade it for, a piece of candy or a pizza, you wouldn't trade it. You wouldn't trade it very often because once you get there, you feel so good about it. So go be selfish. Go win. You're absolutely right. Tap on God. Say, hey, I could use your strength. If you know I'm supposed to do this, get me through it. He's never let us down. Continue to do everything that you've done. You lose the last 5 pounds the exact same way you lost the first 5. You stay focused, you stay dialed in, and more than anything, you go after it. Thank you for your email. Out of Rockford, Illinois, Katie writes in and says, Dear Mike, I want to let you know that your podcast has been a game changer for me. Without going into too much detail, I recently lost 27 pounds as an online member with 14 to go. I fell into the complacency trap and I gained 17 pounds back. I got remotivated and then I found your podcast. Here is where you have been instrumental. I've always had the mentality that when I lose the weight and I don't keep it off, that it's because of some major flaw in me. To learn that this is normal for most people who are trying to lose weight has allowed me to forgive myself and move on. Now, if I have a bad day, I actually start the new day with excitement and motivation to make the next day a better one. It is truly amazing how much of a mind game that weight loss is. Taking the attitude of owning a misstep and moving on and realizing that it doesn't make you a failure, but actually using it as a learning experience is absolutely life-changing. So thank you very much for putting it all in perspective and making reaching your goal weight an actual dream, not an actual reality, not a dream. I've heard this so often in your podcast, but for me, something is very different this time around, and I know I will reach goal. It's also extremely helpful to have you talk about the mindset of a lifetimer after reaching goal, because I know that maintaining the loss is equally as important as losing the weight. Here are just a few quick things that I actually want to share with you. My husband, also an online member and never really overweight in my opinion, lost about 20 pounds a year ago. He has kept it off. He was up about a pound or so this last week, and I shared some of my newfound podcast knowledge and my advice, and he said, "Are you FatDagging me?" That's awesome. Driving my 90-year-old mom to Florida for the winter, and we went via Carmel yesterday to see the relatives. Fun to be in your neck of the woods. I'm down often to see my cousin and would love to join you in the Indy Ultimate if you do it again. And then finally, a typical Katie move. It's forever embarrassing myself, but fortunately blessed with the ability to laugh at myself and not take life too seriously. We had friends for dinner last weekend. I pulled out my iPad to share some pics with them, and to my horror, my before pictures in my underwear popped up. Yikes. You are making an impact on so many lives, and my guess is you will never know how many people you have helped. God bless you for all you do, and thanks to your wife and your daughter for sharing you. Katie, what a fun email. I can just imagine sitting around the dinner table, you pull out your iPad, and there you are. Folks, what I encourage you, without a doubt, it's my number one piece of advice, is take photos. I do encourage you to take them wearing as little as possible because you really want to see the change. But I would caution you to not show them at the dinner table. But it's absolutely, when you get to the point, when you reach your goal weight, you actually probably don't mind at that point because you know you're no longer that person. And it's such an inspiration for other people to see the strength, the ability to win. All of that's demonstrated. And so, sorry you had to go through that, but I'm proud of you for owning it. I'm proud of you for being mentally strong enough and blessed with the ability to laugh at yourself and not take life too seriously. It is what it is. You're changing your life. Not too many people can say that. You're completely changing your life. You and your husband working the plan beautifully. I love that he chimed in with, "Are you FatDagging me?" I think we're going to have to start using that, and say, "Hey, are you FatDagging me? Are you really FatDagging me right now?" "Yeah, I am, because I'm trying to hold you accountable. I am, because I want you to succeed. Yeah, I'm FatDagging you because you know what? Because you look dang good when you're at your goal weight. So you bet I'm FatDagging you, and you're going to get to goal, mister, and you're going to stick there. You understand? That's what 2018 does. That's what being on fire does. Go ahead and go after this. It's absolutely important to maintain the weight that you've lost. Now, we don't talk about it all that too often. It's if you get to the point where you reach your goal. I talked about this morning on the podcast. It's going to be released in mid-January. I talked about it on a different show, and it says, it said if you really want to go after this, when you're losing weight, there's so many compliments along the way. So many people are helping you and encouraging you, and they're telling you how great you look. And when you get to goal, you just become accepted. And for a lot of us, just simply walking in a room and being accepted actually feels like we're being ignored. But that's not the case. We're being accepted, but for so long, we haven't been accepted, so we don't know what that feels like. We misinterpret that acceptance as them blowing us off, of them ignoring us. And so therefore, we go from all this emotion and all of this attention to just fitting in. Normal people, healthy people, you walk into a gym and people don't walk by and say, "Man, you look good today. Man, you look great today. How you do?" We don't say that. We just go about our day. So when that part of your journey disappears, that's cause for celebration. Welcome to the team. Welcome to Team Lifetime. You're just accepted for who you are. And now mentally, you have to have a strong mindset, because you have to understand that you now need to replace all that feeling. You need to go to the point where you are your own pride, joy, celebration team. It's why I ask you to write in. I ask you to share your joy, share all the amazing things you've done in your life, because you need to tell someone, you need to hear it. You need to write it down so that you understand all the hard work that you've done. Mentally, you're strong enough to lose the weight. You absolutely can do this. There is no flaw in you. You're perfectly normal. You are going to get this done. You have to believe that it's possible. And when you believe that it's possible, you will work all the way and you will get to goal. You'll get to goal, and then you and your husband, you'll sit around the room and you'll reach for a plate of cookies, and they'll say, what are you doing? You grabbing the cookies? And you can reply back, "Hey, are you FatDagging me?" "You're dang right I am." Because you're going to get to goal. We're going to celebrate. We're going to have an amazing 2018. Folks, it's 2018. What are you going to do different this year? I opened the show asking you, what are you going to do? When you reach your goal, are you going to celebrate? Are you going to reach back and help somebody out? Are you going to track every meal this year? Are you going to hit a meeting every year? I want you to set a goal. I want you to look at your resolutions, but I don't want to call them resolutions. Historically, we know New Year's resolutions, they don't last much longer into the year than January, February timeframe. That's not what we're doing. We're setting goals that we can accomplish. You're not setting a step goal. You're not setting a weight loss goal. You're setting attendance goals. You're mentally checking in every day. You're finding an accountability partner. You're finding someone that you can say, "Are you FatDagging me?" And you're getting it done. And when you get it done, we're going to celebrate. We are going to knock it out of the park. What is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to FatDag.com. Click on WhysAdvice Podcast. Send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. I want you to email in your celebrations because I want you to be absolutely proud of what you're doing. You're not doing this by accident. You're not doing this just because. You're taking steps every single day to win. Those steps that it takes to win, you need to document them. People need to hear what steps you're taking so they can craft their own journey and they can take similar steps. When you show yourself how proud of you are and you're happy to just fit in to a room, it's an amazing accomplishment. You can do this. 2018 is your year. It absolutely is your year. Happy New Year. Let's go get it done. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Thank you for listening to the WhysAdvice podcast. Did you know for as little as $1 a month, you can take the next step as a wingman and support the show? Visit FatDag.com, click on Become a Patron today.